Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is I Love You, Say It Back. It's a podcast. I'm your host, Vic D. Turn me up. I love when I nail that thing. Let's go. It's one of those little simple, like little guilty pleasures that nobody even gives a damn or cares about except me. It's kind of like when I was working in radio. Song intros you typically talk over like song intros as you're like, say a song has like an intro of 15 seconds and you want to talk, you're like, hey, we're going to be out at this and that, or give a fun fact about the song. And then as soon as you stop talking, the voice kicks in. Oh boy, I tell you what, there is nothing more satisfying, ladies and gentlemen. Well, a couple things than hitting that right on the sweet spot. Beautiful, beautiful. Glad you're with me. It's solo dolo today. I'm so excited about this episode. I feel like we have a lot to catch up on. I have a lot of just random things that I want to talk about, and these tend to be my favorite episodes. Got a great Wednesday wisdom, and let's get right into it. Before we do though, want to remind you, please jump over to our socials at ILY Say It Back Pod. Follow us on our Instagram. I'm at Vic D Radio. If you are listening on Spotify, iHeart, Apple, wherever it is that you're listening, hit that subscribe button. Check on over to our YouTube channel. I'm already playing with, you can't see it right now, but there's we got another camera. So I'm working on a dual view kind of thing. So we're going to start playing with those things. Those things aren't going to be happening for a while, but I love the idea that we already have something in it. I have it on a tripod right here. And it'll be I'll be talking here directly to this camera, then looking over here. So always got to keep continuing to evolve and grow. And I'm glad you're with it. Oh, quickly, I know I got a lot of messages. Where was last week's podcast? Okay, so I know I was sick as a dog. I was sick. It happened so fast. I don't even know how or what, but so last week, no episode. I apologize. I was sick as a dog. Now you're like, Vic, you've done sick podcasts before. I know, but let me tell you the difference. So now I'm out at the Hard Rock every Thursday, and I'm obviously I'm doing announcements out there. And I was like, you know what? It'd be kind of irresponsible for me to go do the podcast as I'm hopefully feeling better. As I have a picture that I've saved on my phone. I might just post it. But long story short, now that I'm at the Hard Rock, I was like, you know what? I thought better of it. I was like, I know my sick process is the day I feel it, and by the end of the day, I'm kind of all the way sick. The next day, which was Wednesday, I'm all the way sick. It's just a wash day. It's the worst day. But by the end of that day, the second day, I'm already I feel a little bit of relief. This is, mind you, if I am in bed, not doing anything, just fully getting rest, fully sleeping, napping, doing all that good stuff. And then hopefully by Thursday, which if I didn't tell you that I had been sick, nobody would know. That's awesome. A knock on wood, my immune system is fantastic when it comes to that. Knowing your body is so important. The day I get sick, by the end of that day, I'm sick as a dog. The second day, sick, just take the L day. And then the third day, and by the end of that second day, I already start to feel a little bit better. Low-key, I did go for a run. I took some Advil and I was just I need to try to sweat a little bit more out of this. By Thursday, I woke up feeling a little and then I went for a run, got the sauna, popped some Advil, and then I was good to go. So I was able to put on a good show at the Hard Rock and perform well and do what I needed to do. Nobody even knew that I had been sick or had been down for the last few days. But if you're wondering why there wasn't a podcast last week, one, I apologize. Because I've done them sick all the time. And that's just because I can take the next day as a full recovery day and not have to worry about it. But when I've got to be, on stage on a microphone, I want to be as healthy and I don't want to spread as many germs as possible. So there's a reason why. And, but we're feeling great. And hopefully you guys come out to the Hard Rock, which by the way, I do have some good news. We are going to be back out at the Hard Rock, signed, sealed, deliver all of February as well. I'm excited to announce that. So great, amazing start to the year. Also, if you guys haven't been out to the bridal shows, head over to the bridal show, February 1st. Going to be on the mic for that as well. And then Going to be doing the fight night. That is going to be huge. So great start to the year, busy start to the year, but I'm grateful. I'm happy. And let's get into the podcast. Again, I'm going to throw a bunch of stuff at you, and I just want you to keep up because I just feel like I love doing these episodes. By the way, y'all like my jacket? My sister got it for me for Christmas. She had got me one. It was too small, and I was like, you know what? Let's do a size up. And this is like probably like my favorite jacket. I might not take it off ever again. I want to get into this. I want to start the show with this. Two things, really. There's a 2016 trend. Have you guys been seeing this? Yes, you have, because it's been all over Instagram. It's been all over TikTok. It's been all over Facebook. Everybody's posting their 26 trends, their 2016 pictures, and we'll talk about that. But real quick, I did want to say this because people are either loving it or complaining about it so much. And I just want to say that this Bakersfield fog is such a vibe. So, like, I'm talking about all the beautiful things about the fog. And you know what it's given me? What I feel like it's given me is a second Christmas. Let me, like, Vic, what does that mean? Let me explain. I feel like what we didn't get this year, Christmas wasn't that cold. This year, Christmas wasn't that foggy or rainy or anything like that. It wasn't that crazy of inclement weather, which to me, inclement weather typically gets me in that vibe, gets me in that mood, gets me in that holiday spirit. So when it's not that and it's like, oh, why is it warm or whatever, it doesn't get me in the mood. So holidays, fantastic. Those end. But now today is the 22nd of January, and there's people who haven't taken down their holiday lights, which, look, I support you. I thank you. Keep fighting the good fight. We're not giving up on this damn holiday yet. But the fog has given me a 90s, like vintage second Christmas vibe. When I'm out running, it's been scary to drive in. Don't get it twisted. It's been scary to drive in, but when I'm out running, like it's become a fog photo shoot, and a lot of it is just the vibes that it's giving is giving me like 90s nostalgia. Christmas, I know Christmas passed, but it's giving me the feel of that second Christmas, especially when I see the Christmas lights still up on the house. I absolutely love it. I know some parents are like, nah, because they're canceling school and I need my kids to get the hell out of it. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the vibe that it gives individually. The fog is such a vibe. Let's talk about this 2016 trend. You guys have seen it. You guys have posted about it. I've been watching it. And it makes me think about this, and if you're unfamiliar, you've been living under a rock. So people are posting their pictures. It's like a 10-year now that we're in 2026. They're posting their 10-year memories of 2016. People are looking young. You could tell the camera quality and the picture quality aren't as good. People are looking skinny. People are looking fabulous. Their hair, their old styles, their cringy at the way that they used to dress or the way that they used to do their hair. But does it not feel like, did we just all like universally have the greatest like 2016 ever? Was that like the peak of the world? You hear people talk about like the summer of 2016, fantastic. I'd never thought about it, but then I hear people talk about it and I'm like, was there something what was in the air in 2016? We need to get some of that back in 2026. So people posting this picture. I've seen the memes are like, I think y'all just like posting these pictures because you were skinny back then. Just hitting them where it hurts. But I wanted to bring up a couple things from 2016. These are things that happened in 2016 that may have, or maybe just random things that were good that may have contributed to why it was so good. So iPhone 7 was released. Just a couple fun facts there. iPhone 7 was released in 2016. Stranger Things premiered. Remember, that became a whole phenomenon. The mannequin challenge, remember that? Black Mirrors in the city, and everybody. That was actually like a pretty sick, like little trend. That was pretty sick. Couple albums, music, things that dropped. I'll give you three pop stuff. Drake, Views, the album dropped. Kanye West dropped Life of Pablo, and J. Cole dropped For Your Eyes Only. Now, personally, for me, this was, if I'm talking about like making it personal, which I mean, it's my podcast. So that was the year that I And I don't know at what point this happened. I might have already been there. By the way, I'm super bad. You know, people are like, yeah, that happened in 2018. I was like, I couldn't, those years all blended together. I have no idea what happened in what year. But as I was looking back, I was able to pinpoint certain things. That was the year, I think I might have already been at country radio, or I was transitioning over to country radio. For those who don't know, I used to work in Spanish radio. The whole story of how I even got started is hilarious because I was just filling in for a couple of weeks, and in those couple of weeks turned into like a month or two of doing country radio. I couldn't pronounce country radio singers' names right. Never liked country, never listened to country, nothing. I remember Maren Morris, her hit debut song was My Church, was a huge hit. And I remember I was like, here comes Maureen Morris. And I was like, yeah. Anyways, long story short, ended up getting a call from another radio station in town. They said, hey, are you willing to come work? And I was like, let's give it a shot. And that's kind of the beginning of my country radio career. But it was right around that time. I'm not pinpointing exactly things that happened, but I do know some of these hit songs. Tim McGraw, Humble and Kind, debuted in 2016. Die a Happy Man dominated weddings. Baby, last night was hands down one of the best nights that I've had, no doubt. Between the head and the bottle. I better stop before YouTube flags me. They're going to be like, you can't be playing that song. I know it sounds like Thomas Rhett, but that's just me singing it, baby. John Party debuted Head Over Boots. I want to sweep you off your feet tonight. That's such a good song. To this day, what a banger. Sam Hunt, Make You Miss Me, still one of his top songs. I'm going to make you miss me. I want to play all these songs. Like, I'm going to make a little playlist of like 2016 hits. And Chris Stapleton obviously now recreated a modern classic now, which everybody's drunk Theo, and they're like, yeah, listen to country fool, listen. Like, and they're like, all right, play your favorite song. And then it's quiet for like a minute while they look for the song, and you just hear. And they're like, this song's fucking down, fool. These songs right here, fool. Chris Stapleton. That all happened in 2016. Absolutely. 2016, I believe that was around the time that I got out of a relationship. That was, we're just talking personal stuff there. Made a big move in career. Got out of a relationship. 2016, man. I was fat as hell in 2016 too. That's something we don't talk about. People don't know about that. But yeah, look back through the pictures, you'll see it. But 2016 challenge, everybody's, it's nice to see everybody's. I was not skinny, you know, those memes do not apply to me. I think y'all like 2016 because that's the last time you was skinny. Well, not me. Fog. I love the fog. Lately, these runs have been just fog photo shoots. I'm not joking. I'm pretending to be like a photographer. I even put like Vic D photography. By the way, here's a quick little thing. I got my, you know how they do like the Spotify Wrapped and everything. I got my Wrapped for running from the Nike app. You want to hear it? It's actually pretty neat. So in 2025, I had a goal, by the way. I had a goal to run 100 miles every single month. And it's so hilarious because I freaking hate running. To this day, I'll tell you, I don't pretend to be, oh boy, you know, I tell you what, that runner's high is really something. No, that's bullshit. You're never going to achieve it. You're never going to get it. Runner's high is a myth, and it's a bunch of crap that they tell you to try to get you to run and buy running shoes. Which, by the way, I need to get some more anyways. All right, let's see. Here's what I ran last week. Last year, in 2025, I ran a total of 1,245 miles, which did average out to 100 per month. That is, and it tells you on the app, it says that's about the distance from Miami to Chicago. That's pretty cool. A total of 267 runs and 13,092 minutes running, and I didn't enjoy a single one of them. Don't let these people who are like, oh, just the fulfillment of it. Shut the fuck up. Running sucks. And it hasn't gotten easier. I've been doing this for 2 years and I'm like, there's no way that this hasn't gotten easier. But yeah, March was my most popular month for running. I ran a total of 119 miles. So there we go. Feels cool. It feels good to get it done. This year I don't have any goals to run. My goal is to not run at all, but still getting a couple miles in here and there. I'm probably going to hit 100 this month, actually. And it's only because I have so many events. Running is just like a cheat code for me. Like, if I feel like I ate too much one day, or if I I'll go for a run, and I kid you not, depending obviously on the distance that I run and the pace, I could drop anywhere from like 1.5 pounds to like 3 pounds, and then I just starve myself and go to bed. Probably shouldn't be admitting this on a podcast. I just starve myself and I run and I'm back to normal. Yeah, I mean, sorry. Don't follow me for health advice. I'm just telling you, that's showbiz, baby. I wanted to talk about this, which, by the way, too, it's funny. What is it, January 22nd? People are starting to lose their New Year's resolutions already. I'm seeing the gym slow way down. Shout out to everyone who gave an effort. Don't give up just yet. Try to get back on it. But I will say I am one of the people who's already back to effed. My goal this year, if you remember, I was like, I'm going to get you sound so stupid talking about your New Year's resolutions. I'm going to sleep right. I'm going to get my sleep back on track, and I'm going to be in bed by 9, and I'm going to wake up by 5:30 and get my day started. You sound so stupid looking back. Folks, are 22 days into it. I'm already back to screwed up. I'm running at 3 a.m. again. I'm going to bed at 5, waking up early if I need to. When sleep is all jacked up again. But in the beginning of the year, for like a week, I was like going to bed at 9. But you know what the problem was? I was like, yeah, I'm going to bed at 9, but I wasn't getting shit done with the podcast. I was like, okay, it's either sleep or I get my work done. And I was choosing sleep, but then I was like, well, I'm not getting anything done. And I was like, okay, well, this is not sustainable for where I want to get this podcast. So anyways, maybe take a little bit of advice from me here. I am going to try to do both. I'm not giving up on it, but I just know the reality of when I'm most effective and all that stuff. But if you had goals, maybe revisit them. And maybe we have a podcast for you coming up in the beginning of February to help you with that. So stick around for that. I thought this was interesting. Margot Robbie was named the most beautiful woman on earth. And this was due to a website called Ranker. And this was a fan voted thing. So it's like they don't rank it. They don't have people who do this. They just put up a poll and then they say, all right, who's the most beautiful woman? And then they take the submissions and then so it turns out to be Margot Robbie. Here's my thoughts on this. No argument there. Margot Robbie is beautiful. Margot Robbie is hot. Margot Robbie, famous. She's, whatever you want to call it. Like, no argument. There's some weird years where it's like People magazine. I always bring back this example, the Blake Shelton, where they're like the most handsome or the hottest man or the sexiest man alive or whatever. And it was Blake Shelton. I was like, you lost all credibility. Blake Shelton should be nowhere near that list. But Margot Robbie, I'm not going to get an argument, or you're not going to get an argument from me. She's gorgeous. She's stunning. But I do think that we need to rephrase in 2026. I don't think we can really know who the most beautiful, gorgeous woman on the face of this earth is. I think we should rename this to Margot Robbie, the most beautiful woman on earth that we know about. I mean, folks, go through TikTok, go through Instagram, go through all these social media. There is gorgeous women everywhere. They're just not actresses. Or at least not that kind of actress. They're just not in your big screens at the movie theaters. They're just not all over, they're not these famous Hollywood actresses So to be even say like that is the most beautiful woman, well, can you say that definitively? Because I seen some baddies, buddy. So I think we should rename it. No argument with Margot Robbie. She's gorgeous. She's stunning. My only thing is like, I think we should rename these to the most beautiful woman on earth, and then in parentheses, that we know of. Because you start scouring the internet, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, I know if you watch a national championship game on Monday, Fernando Mendoza, Indiana, Miami, and then they pointed over to Abella Danger. All I'm saying is there's tons of women like that, and there's beautiful women everywhere, in every country, in every state, in every city. Here in Bakersfield, we have some beautiful people. But nobody knows. No one's going to vote for, hey, Stacy, who lives in Bakersfield, California. You're like, no, nobody knows who you are outside of your city or whatever. So that's my only thing. Julia, Stephanie, Amber, Jackie in Bakersfield, California. Most beautiful. It's like, no. So Margot Robbie, most beautiful woman that we know about. Drinking a little Red Bull, probably not a good idea. I feel good. If you're listening in the car, shout out to you. I feel like this is really intimate. This is just me and you hanging out time. What else do we have? We have a lot, man. We have a lot to talk about. Oh, Blue Monday. Shout out all the Blue Monday survivors. Vic, what's Blue Monday? Glad you asked. So it's actually not like a real, like, I'm not sure science backed this up. To an extent, it does, though. Did you know that Blue Monday is the third Monday of every year, statistically proven to be the saddest or most depressing day of the year? I've talked about this every single year for, going back to when I first started radio. And you know what it stemmed from? It stemmed from just me being like, yo, January kind of sucks. January is depressing. My mental health wasn't there. My mental health was not good. And then I was like, there's no way. I was like, I can't be the only one. And I felt it really bad, like on Sundays. And then I looked into it a little bit, and there was a thing that had just come out, and it was relatively new at the time, but they were like, yeah, it turns out that the third Monday of every year is statistically the most depressing day of the year. Couple things that back it up. And we've talked about this before, but the come down of the holidays is huge for it, right? So when you're going through holidays, you're going through we can even go back as far as Halloween. You go from Halloween to Thanksgiving, family, holidays, laughs, costumes, candy. You go into Christmas, family, gifts, good food. So the post-holiday letdown, the excitement of the holidays is over, and there's nothing immediately to look forward to, which is one thing that we always talk about. Like, big or small, having something to look forward to is a key to success and happiness in life. This one doesn't apply to me necessarily because I'm a big fan of this, but I could see how the general public would not like this, especially with the fog that we've been seeing in Bakersfield. Cold, dark winter weather. Pardon me. Shorter days and less sunlight can affect mood and energy levels, sometimes linked to the seasonal blues. So a lot of people are like, it's cold, it's gloomy, it's foggy. Then you get nerds like me who are like, I love the fog. But for the most part, people need a little bit of sunshine. Not me, but people do. This one I think is big, especially if you got a big family. Listen to this. Financial stress. Credit card bills from the holidays start arriving. So yeah, it's all fun and games when you're like, well, I'll get this gift and I'll get this and we'll spend this and we'll buy this. It's like, well, we'll kick the can down the road. Well, that can just keeps arriving at your door. So that's a big one. And then again, fading New Year's resolutions. The motivation can dip when goals feel harder to maintain and you're already back in a routine. So Mondays already feel tough, and this one is just kind of a low energy. Also, there's another thing about January just feels like it just lasts forever. So if you are kind of in that mood, in that mindset, in that state of mind, hang in there. You're not alone. It's a real thing. So Blue Monday. It's okay to feel not okay right now, and just kind of push through it. Just push through as best as you can. Reach out for help. I will say, this is kind of funny to me, but so the other day I was at the Hard Rock, and I mic'd myself up and I started recording some videos, and like, first of all, people are freaking awesome. Like, if you saw one of the videos, there was a girl who, and I had my mic and I was walking back from making an announcement, and there was a girl who came up to me and she was like, "Hey, last week you were hilarious. You were funny." Like, and I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." And she's like, "You were awesome." And I was like, "Okay." Like, I was like, "Oh, stop it." And that was like, that's all I said. I was like, that's the best you got, Vic? Like, someone says something nice to you finally, and that's how you react? So anyways, I clipped that out and I was like, yeah, my stupid reaction of just being like, "Oh, stop it." Like, what a dork, what a nerd. And I put at the bottom of the caption, I put, "Oh, stop it," in quotes. And I put, "I'm gonna KMS," which stands for, Google it. I don't want to say it on here. But the point being is, so like the next morning I woke up and I don't know if someone flagged it or Instagram, like this algorithm or this AI just pick up, and it was like giving me like the suicide hotline. It was like, "Hey, if you need help, if you're talking about doing these things, like, please be careful." And I was like, "Oh, damn." Like, I was just joking because, I said I'm going to KMS because of the way I responded to a compliment. Which, can I say this? Like, I know people like, and I hope the right people hear this. I love people. I love being in front of people. I love speaking to people. I love having a mic, and I love addressing and talking, and I love people. I'm a people person. And I love making people feel awkward. That's just a little like, I have a mic in my hand, I'm going to go out, have a good time. But let me tell you this. People assume that because you're a people person that you're like, "Oh, I love compliments and I love him," because I always I'm like, "Man, I'm the greatest at blank and blank." And compliments are only fun when you give them to yourself in a self-deprecating way. Like, I always talk about yeah, I'm so hot and I'm this. I know it sounds like, "Oh, you're full of yourself," but it's like, bro, I'm not being serious. If I really thought that, I would not be, putting it in someone's face. Like, "Oh yeah, you were looking for the best looking guy in here. You found him. Congratulations, sweetheart. What are you gonna do about it?" If I really believed that, that would be the last thing I'd be doing. That'd be kind of ignorant. Anyways, so when people actually give me very nice compliments, like that girl is like, "You were hilarious on the mic last night, or last week. You were fantastic." Well, compliments and speaking highly of myself is only funny when I'm doing it and I'm being self-deprecating. When someone's genuinely nice, I don't know how to handle it. I know you guys might find that hard to believe, but I'm not good at taking compliments at all. What do you say? What is humble enough? What is not too humble? What is fake? What is real? I don't know. Now, fortunately for me, those true, genuine, compliments don't happen too often, so I don't have to deal with it that often. But it only feels like I handle those really well when I don't. I don't. And take it or leave it, I just don't. Like, it's awkward for me. Like that girl, we'll watch the video. "Hey, you were hilarious. You were funny." "Oh, stop it. Yeah, I'm going to kill myself." Now the podcast algorithm is going to pick up on that and be like, "Do you need help? Is Blue Monday getting the best of you?" Let's see. I wanted to talk about this because I think this is fantastic before we get into our Wednesday wisdom. Did you know, and I was debating on doing this we'll do one in case you didn't know. In case you didn't know, the average woman spends roughly $1,000 a year on coffee. In case you didn't know, the average woman spends roughly a year on coffee. And I say, congratulations, it's worth it. Folks, there are some things, and the internet meets these kind of statistics with, "This is ridiculous. How could you spend so much on it?" It's like, brother. First of all, break it down. Let's do quick math real quick. And it says anywhere from 1,000 to 1,300. So we'll just go right in the middle. 1,150 divided by 365. That comes out to about $3 a day. That's not that much. All right. That's not that much. And if you think about what that really does, remember we always talk about one of the keys to happiness, one of the keys to life is having something to look forward to. On I Love You Say It Back podcast Instagram last night, I posted something about, it was a repost, and it was like, I'm going to bed and I'm looking forward to my morning coffee already. Imagine for $3 a day, you get that kind of joy and like looking forward to that. I love that. That is so absolutely worth it. The joy that it brings, the happiness, the excitement, the smell, the wake up. Coffee is vital. I'm not the biggest coffee person, but I understand the value that it brings when it comes to like looking forward to something. When it comes to like, oh, I'm going to try this new delish, your little coffee spot. The smell, amazing. And to be like, it's ridiculous to spend $1,000 is not that much. And for what it brings, we talk about certain things just being worth it. Amazon Prime, raise those prices. It's okay. It's still worth it. In-N-Out Burger, raise those prices. Still worth it. I'm talking, there's certain things that are just absolutely worth it. And having that morning coffee, what it does to your day, what it does to your morning, what it does to your mood, what it does to having something to look forward to, $1,000 a year, folks, a year, absolutely worth it. Run that bill up. Earn those stars, baby. Let's get into our Wednesday wisdom conversation. Kind of got us started a little bit on social media. It was a very succinct version of it. It's just a little poll, which, by the way, I'm going to read you the question, then I'll give you the poll answers. All right, here we go. So this was like a group message. Hi, Vic. Okay, we have a question for you. It's like a group of girlfriends. Does liking another man or woman's post on social media count as cheating? Parentheses, micro cheating. Me and my friends had a debate on this last weekend and we're split. Haha, can you discuss on pod? I feel so stupid seeing my man liking a girl's post randomly. My friends don't see it that way. Well, some do. They think as long as it's just that, then what's the big deal? You're not insecure about it. You're insecure about what people think. That's a big one. IDK about all that. How do you guys see it? So there's a lot of to cut down to the meat and potatoes. Does liking another man or woman's Instagram post, pictures, count as cheating? This is a very layered question, folks. I think, first of all, this is going to vary from relationship to relationship, knowing your partner, knowing the kind of relationship you have, knowing where you stand, knowing what it is that they're into. And so to put a like a universal answer on this is dumb. There is no blanket answer for this and say like, no, it is absolutely not cheating because that is ridiculous. Don't be so insecure. Or there's like, yes, absolutely, it is cheating. Because every relationship is different. There may be some things that cause insecurities within that relationship that it's like, hey, I have experience where in the past, my partner was liking this person, then later found out that, hey, they had an affair for 2 years. Then there's also like, yeah, I like this other person's post. I appreciate their physique. I appreciate their, or maybe I know them. I'm friendly with them. I have a rule. This is just a personal thing. If I know you in person and I like you as a person, I don't even watch your content. I don't watch what you post. I automatically like it because I like you. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what it is. If you post a selfie, if you post a new reel, trying out a new restaurant, trying new things, I'm going to automatically like it. I don't need to necessarily like it to like it. I like you. I'm liking it. It's called blind support. And I know that's a crazy concept. Some of the people that are in my life are like, hey, I'm not going to like anything. Okay. But yeah, I have blind support. If I see something that you post, I'm going to like it. Now, to me, that is something that I think I'm always going to carry because I love supporting people who are trying new things and different things. And sometimes that's my male friends. Sometimes that's my girlfriends. Sometimes that's other. So for me, you can't put a blanket statement and say that is cheating. If I was in a relationship, I'd still be doing this. Not cheating. That is support. But I also can't say that I represent everybody. Sometimes that's how these little flingy flings start. Let me like your story, boo. Let me get your attention, but I want to be subtle. I'm not going to slide in your DMs. Just know that I'm liking all of your damn posts. So to say a blanket, is it yes or is it no? Is it cheating? Yes. Is it cheating? No. There is no conversation. There is no blanket statement on this. But I will say this. If you are a person who's getting mad at your significant other who's liking this stuff, and it doesn't necessarily bother you, but what bothers you is the fact that you are feeling silly or that your friends are bringing it up to you. In other words, you are not bothered by it, but you're embarrassed of what people think about it. That's another thing. And you know what? I don't necessarily even disagree with you. Like, I understand that, hey, I'm not bothered by it, but I understand that the way this looks isn't great. I don't care that my partner does this, but everybody thinks like, oh, you're looking stupid out here. And I understand why someone would be bothered by it. Do I think it is cheating or is directly a sign of cheating? No. Do I necessarily think that it's not? Absolutely not. I think you got to analyze your own little relationship and realize, are you mad at the fact that people think that you are looking silly or the fact that you genuinely care? Because I think sometimes when you're secure in your own relationship, these kinds of things ain't going to bother you all that much. It's a layered conversation. I'd love to hear so many more people's opinions. So go comment on social media at ILY Say It Back Pod. We post it every week. And can I also add something real quick? Please, so these questions get so many freaking responses. Unfortunately, you guys want to DM me or the podcast page directly. Thank you. I appreciate that. But please help our engagement. Please drop a comment. The DMs are fantastic because I get to engage with you directly, but sometimes I'll miss them because on things like that, we get lots of responses, but feel free to comment. I'm going to try to comment, or I try to respond to every single comment on our socials because I know that's good to get this thing pushing out, right? But yeah, so the DMs, great, but also get the comment section going. And thank you, and I appreciate that. Let's wrap up this show. That is your Wednesday Wisdom. Victor has spoken. Let's wrap it up with a little late night trivia. Did I save this question? Oh, here we go. All right, here we go. Late night trivia. 63% of people do this in job interviews, but shouldn't. What is it? 63% of people do this at job interviews, but should not do it. You ready? Maybe you've done this, maybe you haven't. I think it's a thing that you do because you're nervous. Chewing gum. 63% of people chew gum at job interviews, although it is a bad. Imagine. Yeah. I show up on time. I'm responsible. This gum is out of flavor. You guys want one? I'm hired. Hell yeah. All right, folks, that's going to do it. Thank you so much for rocking and rolling with us. I love you. Say it back. Please like, subscribe, Spotify, iHeart, wherever it is that you're listening to, on YouTube, on our socials, at ILY Say It Back Pod. I'm at Vic D Radio. What a fun show. I love you. Say it back. Have a great night, y'all. Peace.